It looks like the market had a pretty interesting day, the day I was out. So, I mean, you can see here we pretty much consolidated between 5654 and 5590. And the minute we broke that, we had more aggressive selling. But I mean, I wouldn't say the trend is broken yet. This is typical for a wave four correction to kind of have an expanded flat, right? You can see here, this was the A, this was the B, this is a state initially where we're looking for this to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we couldn't, break over this resistance at 5, 6, 6, 9. So that's why we kind of, you can see here at the minute we broke 5595-ish, right? We had that expanded move to the downside. And yeah, you can see I already had this line drawn, right? This was previously where we had gapped up. So, I mean, this is one level of support. And we do have another level of support at 5428. So if you flip this right from the top to the bottom, you can see that we are just under the 0.236 FIP. And generally, sell-offs do tend to come down to the 382 FIP. So
This short clip is presented by Chase. Fast track your learning curve and profit with our LaDuc Trading Slack community. It is ideal for beginners who love the chase. Chase provides access to not only Samantha's daily market thoughts and chase trades, but also her fabulous team of live stage mentors who share their actual trades and risk management stops across equities, options, and futures. You also get access to custom trade support when you need it. For more information, visit www.laductrading.com/chase.
anyway, this is typical for this to be a wave four. You can see here the wave two of this wave sequence was pretty small. So that means generally wave fours are bigger. And you can see here that hold on, you can see here, once I fib it, we're still on the 0.5 fib, which is a reasonable level of it to come down. So if we hold this 5500, we're going to continue again pushing up for a wave five higher here. We're going to continue pushing up for a wave five higher. If not, and if September seasonality is going to kick in, then this will be our A wave. This is our B wave, and we will, kind of come down here into the C wave. Like if I zoom out, we know that this bigger picture is the channel. And right now, this was trying to be, you can see here, this would end up being our A, our B, and we come somewhere here for the C wave. So yeah, I mean, let's see kind of how we do in this area. I still think this is an ABC, which is going to go to the upside. Let's see what the dollar says. And yeah, the dollar just kind of had an oversold bounce, but it needs to have a significant follow through for ES to have this ABC to the downside. One, I would like to see 5428 break, then I would be more on the page that we could continue having selling into the end of September. Number one. Number two is look at the dollar. I would like the dollar to get over 102 and keep pushing. Otherwise, you can see here, this is the downtrend on the dollar. I mean, it's not a perfect downtrend, but you can see here, so till we get over 102, it's still, kind of stuck in a downtrend. And then we look at the wick. We did kind of I thought we would fill the gap in bounce, but this is again an ABC. And you can see here, I mean, it was due for an oversold bounce too. And you can see here, I flipped this from the top to the bottom and we're just pushing towards the 382 fib. So this is typical for an oversold bounce. The wicks would have to get over 30 for the market to get more bearish. So I'm still expecting the wicks to kind of eventually slowly come down to fill a gap here. Let's go look at the yields. We look at the 10-year yields, and again, it is kind of selling off, right? Which should be bullish the market again. So, I mean, it was an interesting day, but we would need a lot more selling and follow through to fully succumb to the bearish part. But again, September generally is known to, have those kind of months. So yeah, let's see. Again, this is a very bearish weekly candle. So obviously it would need to get bought up to kind of avoid this bearish engulfing. Usually such bearish engulfings have major follow-throughs to the downside. So yeah, the rest of the week will be super important to see what level holds, to see what path we take. Anyway, with that being said, I have Apple on this week again. The channel is broken for Apple. So you can see here that right now, this same as the market, I do think that Apple could bounce over 220. We could go back to 225, 230. Eventually, this is kind of what I see for Apple. Let's see alternatively, if the channel is broken, then this would be our one, this would be our two. We're gonna come out for a 3, 4, 5. So that's why I kind of have Apple. I think whether you're bullish or bearish, it is gonna have that kind of that bounce into 225 at least, and you can kind of see what happens next. So yeah, that's kind of why I have Apple. The next one that I have on the market is SMCI. So the reason I have SMCI again is, I mean, first it would need to again follow through to the downside. So SMCI, you can see here, this right here is our pennant, and we have broken down. So as long as this bounce stays below, it gets rejected. Generally, wave fours are kind of pennants. We would need to break this low, make a new low, and then it kind of has that big kind of oversold bounce. Yeah, again, but it could also do something like where this is your A, this is your B, and this is your C to kind of go fill that higher gap. So that's kind of why, I mean, it will kind of give you a volatile move in both cases. So, I mean, you could kind of see which way we push through. So, yeah, these are your levels. To be bullish, you need over 451. To go up to 500. To be bearish, you need to continue breaking 435 and push down into 410 and 400. So those are your levels for SMCI. The next one I have is Netflix. And again, this is similar to what I have for Apple. Is I'm seeing this wave 4 ending, right? Maybe a little weakness into Tuesday before we go higher for that wave 5. So this is what I see for Netflix. I still think that it's looking good. So I mean 665 should be a good area to kind of push up higher for that oversold bounce on Netflix. And again here, it same as Apple, it did kind of break this channel. So I mean if we are gonna be super bearish on Netflix, I would say below 650, then Netflix has a lot of room to the downside into 600 again. So still kind of has a lot of, like you can see here, it kind of has a lot of previous resistance, right, to new support demand zone in this area. So that's why I have calls on Netflix. And last but not the least, I think Mara could have some follow through to the downside. If I zoom out, this kind of, you can see here, this kind of looks like a wave 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I mean, it needs to at least come down to 13.5 minimum before it bounces. So I do think under 15 we could come down to 14 and maybe 13.5 again. So yeah, that's all I have for this week. I hope you have a great day.
Subscribe to LaDuc Trading YouTube channel for more Wolf's weekly wave list videos and other content.